Hello, welcome to Biology 105, which is environmental biology. This is an online course and I will be the one hosting it, and my name is Professor Kirsten Newtoff. To tell you a little bit about me and kind of what allows me to teach this class. So first, I do not have a PhD, so although some of you have called me Dr. Newtoff and I'm super flattered, I'm not that smart and I did not spend that much time in school, but I do have a master's degree in marine biology, focusing on brown pelicans, which is what I'm holding here. And although I was doing marine biology, I had an environmental focus. So I was looking at toxic pollutants that were accumulating in brown pelican tissues. I also used to work at NASA, and at NASA I was an earth scientist, and essentially I was using satellites to measure different things on the ground, such as ground surface temperature, the amount of greenery there is, different things that are in our water and in our atmosphere. And so I was kind of using a very data-driven approach to environmental problems. And although I enjoyed both those things, I really enjoyed teaching. I just finished my third year at Montgomery College. Absolutely love it here. I hope to be here forever. So I've been doing this for a while. On a more personal level, I love to travel, so if any of you guys are interested in traveling, let me know. In these pictures, I'll just point them out real quick. We got Egypt, we have the Swiss Alps. In the bottom left, we have the Great Wall of China, San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge, and then down here, looking at Greece. Most of these trips were solo, so if you're needing the motivation to go travel but have no one to do it with, you don't need anyone to do it with. I also travel super cheaply because I'm poor, so if you guys need any tips or anything, I actually wrote a whole guide about how to travel cheaply. So yeah, just letting you know kind of what I do outside of class. So this environmental biology course talks about quite a few different things. First of all, we'll talk about just the fundamentals of the environment. What is biodiversity and why do we care about biodiversity? Also in that first unit, we're going to talk about resources, what they are, where they come from, how we categorize them, and what do we do when we're done with them. And more than likely, you guys are probably recycling things that you should not be recycling, and vice versa. Another unit will look at agriculture, so where our food is really coming from, what does it mean to be organic or have GMOs. We'll talk about water. Where is our clean water coming from? Where's our pollution going? And what happened in Flint, Michigan? And then with climate change, we're going to talk about what's happening right here, right now, today. And so we cover a lot of different things. And for the most part, I try to focus on Montgomery County, Maryland. What is going on here in our county? Now, lastly, this is an online summer class, so just kind of to give you some expectations coming into this course. So it is 100% online. You don't need to go to campus. You don't need to do anything crazy. Everything is going to be available in our Blackboard course. This is an active course, meaning I have you doing more than just watching videos and reading a book and being a bump on a log. My goal in my teaching in general is to really bring the course content to you. Why does it matter to you? And what can you be doing with this information? And I take what I do in my classroom and I do the same thing online. So I'm warning you, some of you might be getting hype about that. Some of you might be groaning about that, but just letting you know. Also, what to expect. This is a summer course. So just letting you know, by law, courses that are 1 credit long mean that during a week, the course needs to meet for 1 hour, and for every hour in class, it's 2 hours out of class. So a 3-credit course like this course would mean in a typical week, that would be 3 hours of time spent in class and 6 hours of time spent out of class, homework, studying for tests, projects, etc. So that's about 9 hours a week. So in our regular semester, it's 15 weeks long. And so 9 hours, it says times 16, but it's supposed to be times 15. Is 135 hours you should be putting into a course during a semester. Yeah, well, summer semester is a third of that. It's only 5 weeks long. So 135 hours divided by 5 weeks is 27 hours a week. Now, when I make these materials, I'm not like, ooh, let me make sure this takes up 27 hours. It could totally take you less time. But just keep in mind, this is the typical fall and spring course. all due within 5 weeks. I'm not, well, I took out like 1 or 2 small things just to make it more doable, but this class is not an easier version of the regular class. It is the same class, and it's harder just in the sense that you have to do the same amount of work in a much more condensed time. So just keep that in mind. Time management is going to be your ally. If you suck at time management, I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be a bumpy ride for you. So don't suck at time management and you'll be fine. All right. The second part of this video that I wanted to kind of explore was taking a look at our Blackboard class, just to kind of point out some things so that you know where to find everything. So here's our Blackboard class. It opens up on the announcement screen. You can't see any announcements right now. There'll be some up during the semester. Every time I send you guys an email, it comes in through the announcements as well. You've got links to your grades in the course, which I keep pretty up to date pretty quickly. I have a course calendar here. It's also in the syllabus. It's also in every single assignment, but here is another way for you to review those materials. There is the syllabus, the course introduction, which is what you're looking at now, and then also these FAQs on how to do things in Blackboard. Some of the most important information, in my opinion. How to make sure your assignment's submitted, how to make sure that you can see your rubric and my feedback, because I leave you feedback on everything. Then you have the course content. This is where the course is, right? The bulk of the course is in here. You can see I have the entire semester open and available to you. You can work at your own pace. If you want to work ahead, which I encourage you to do if you can, everything's here for you. But there are deadlines along the way so that you're not waiting until the last minute. It's just all open in case you want to work early. I will change this text to red just to let you know what unit you're in if you're trying to keep track of where we are. But you can see we also have all the dates too to kind of help you keep track. The discussion board, all of these are linked to in-course content, but if you want to quickly get to the discussion board, you can. And then same with the projects. We have 3 different projects and assignments in this class. You can find them here and all of their deadlines together. But in the course content, I have more links. So it's the same links going to the same folders. I just have them in 2 places depending on what works best for you. I do offer extra credit in the course, so you can read about the different ways to earn that here. And then finally, if you're like, something's broken, call tech support. This is information for tech support as well as academic support. If you need things, you can find that there. You may notice that in the other Blackboard courses you've taken, they have all these other menus on the left-hand side. I know how to edit those menus. There is a reason you cannot access course tools, because the only course tools we are using are grades and the calendar. If you're like, oh, but I like to send an email, I hate the send an email because it sends it through Blackboard and not my MC email. Everything needs to go to MC email. So if you're wondering where that is, it doesn't exist for a reason. If you need to send me an email, just open up your MC email and send me an email there. All right, so that's it. That's all I got for you. Good luck, work ahead, and you'll be successful.